जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Thank you. Andhra Pradesh Raj Bhavan extends a cordial welcome to all the dignitaries to the Constitution Day program. Today we have gathered here to celebrate the 74th Constitution Day, also called Samvidhan Divas and National Law Day. And we deem it our privilege and honor to have with us respected Hon'ble Governor of Andhra Pradesh, Shri Abdul Nazeer sir. I respectfully request our esteemed Hon'ble Governor sir kindly to light the ceremonial lamp and offer floral tributes to the founding fathers of our Constitution. Thank you, sir. Now a short video on the historical significance of the drafting of the Indian Constitution will be played. The video highlights the story behind the drafting of the Constitution and serves as a reminder of the dedication and foresight of the framers of the Constitution, who toiled to give the nation a guiding document that reflects the aspirations of a diverse and dynamic nation. Please play the video.
संविधान हूँ, संविधान आजाद भारत का, भारत दैट इज इंडिया यानी राज्यों के संग भारत गणराज्य का। ये लम्हा मेरे साये में गुजरा है, इस बीच कई पीढ़ियां गुजर गईं। आजादी के परवानों ने मुझे आकार दिया तो देश के नवनिर्माण में लगे सिपाहियों ने मुझे पाला पोसा और मुझे विस्तार दिया। हम भारत के लोग मेरी ताकत हैं। किसी संविधान सभा की बंद चाहर दीवारी में मेरा जन्म नहीं हुआ था। मैंने अपना रूप, आकार और अपनी ताकत कश्मीर से कन्याकुमारी और सिलचर से सौराष्ट्र तक आवाम की इच्छाओं, आकांक्षाओं से हासिल किया था। लोग बताते हैं कि मेरा जन्म 26 जनवरी 1950 को तब हुआ था जब हम भारत के लोगों के सपनों के भारत को कलमबद्ध कर अधिनियमित किया गया।
The 26th day of January 1950, India, that is Bharat, shall be a sovereign, democratic republic, and the Union and its component parts, the states, shall exercise all powers and functions of government and administration in accordance with the provisions of the said Constitution.
सन 1922 का वो वक्त जब भारत का राजनीतिक भाग्य भारतीय स्वयं अपने हाथों गढ़ने की दिशा की ओर निर्णायक तौर पर बढ़ने के संकेत दे रहे थे। उसी वक्त एक नंगे फकीर ने साफ कर दिया था कि स्वराज्य ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट की भिक्षा नहीं होगी। यह भारत की स्वयं की गई घोषणा होगी। यह भारत के लोगों की इच्छा की घोषणा का विनम्र अनुमोदन होगा। जैसे हर सभ्यता की कहानी नदी किनारे आकार लेती है, वैसे मेरा सफर भी दरिया रावी के तट से 1929 में तब शुरू हुआ था जब आजादी के एक मनचले ने देश के नाम स्वराज्य का संकल्प लिया था। सन 1935 में जब अंग्रेजों ने भारत शासन अधिनियम की घोषणा की थी, उसी वक्त भारत के भावी प्रधानमंत्री ने हुंकार भर कहा था, स्वतंत्र भारत का संविधान बिना बाहरी हस्तक्षेप के ऐसी संविधान सभा द्वारा बनाया जाना चाहिए जो वयस्क मतदान के आधार पर निर्वाचित हो। मुझे अस्तित्व में लाने की तैयारियां शुरू हो गई थीं। मैं आजादी की लड़ाई के दौरान ही रूप आकार ग्रहण करने लगा था। भारतीय गणतंत्र का संविधान राजनीतिक क्रांति का ही नहीं, बल्कि आजादी के सतत संघर्ष का परिणाम था। मेरा स्वरूप पिछले 2 शताब्दियों से एक बात में भिन्न था कि अन्य दस्तावेज साम्राज्यवादी शक्तियों द्वारा लादी गई थी, लेकिन गणतंत्र का संविधान लोगों ने प्रभुता संपन्न संविधान सभा में समवेत अपने प्रतिनिधियों के माध्यम से स्वयं बनाया था। मुझे कुछ लाभ और भी थे। मसलन दुनिया के पहले लिखित संविधान को बने हुए 100 साल से ज्यादा का वक्त बीत चुका था, लिहाजा अनुभवों का अच्छा खजाना मेरे निर्माताओं के पास था। बहरहाल 9 दिसंबर 1946 से मेरे निर्माण की शुरुआत हुई और तकरीबन 2 साल 11 महीने और 17 दिन की कड़ी मशक्कत और लंबे विचार विमर्श के बाद 284 प्रतिनिधियों के हस्ताक्षर के उपरांत मैं अस्तित्व में आया। मेरे निर्माण में उस वक्त दुनिया में मौजूद तमाम लिखित अलिखित संविधानों के अनुभव काम में आए थे। संयुक्त राज्य अमेरिका, ब्रिटेन, फ्रांस, आयरलैंड और जर्मनी जैसे देशों की लिखित और अलिखित संविधानों को खंगाल कर मेरे निर्माताओं ने मुझे रूप दिया। कुछ आलोचकों ने इसे पैबंद कहा। मैंने कहा, अगर पैबंद है भी तो खूबसूरत है। दरअसल इतिहास के जिस संधि काल में मेरा जन्म हुआ, उस दौरान कई देशों ने स्वतंत्रता पाई थी। इन तमाम देशों में संविधान की मर्यादाएं वक्त बेवक्त खंडित होती रहीं, जबकि मैं अपनी नागरिकों की इच्छाओं, आकांक्षाओं के अनुरूप रोज नित नए मुकाम पर खड़ा होता गया। मेरी प्रस्तावना ही मेरा दर्शन है। हम भारत के लोग इस संविधान को अंगीकृत, अधिनियमित और आत्मार्पित करते हैं। ये शब्द भारत के लोगों की सर्वोच्च प्रभुता की घोषणा करते हैं, यानी कि एक स्वतंत्र और प्रभुता संपन्न राज्य जिसकी संप्रभुता की ताकत उसके लोगों में निहित है। लोग जिनसे मिलकर गणराज्य बनता है, जिसका प्रमुख राष्ट्रपति है और इस देश का कोई भी नागरिक राष्ट्रपति हो सकता है। 42वें संविधान संशोधन के जरिए समाजवाद और पंथ निरपेक्षता के आदर्श को जोड़कर इस लोकतंत्रात्मक गणराज्य के आधार को और भी विस्तृत किया गया। सामाजिक, आर्थिक और राजनीतिक न्याय, विचार, अभिव्यक्ति, विश्वास, धर्म और उपासना की स्वतंत्रता और उन सब में व्यक्ति की गरिमा और राष्ट्र की एकता और अखंडता सुनिश्चित करने वाली बंधुता बढ़ाने जैसे आदर्श को मुकाम तक पहुंचाने और लोक कल्याणकारी राज्य की संकल्पना को आधार प्रदान करने के लिए मुझ में मूल अधिकार और नीति निर्देशक जैसे तत्व शामिल किए गए।
Thank you. Preamble is considered as the heart and soul of the Constitution. I earnestly request Honorable Governor Sir kindly to read out the preamble to the Constitution of India, phrase by phrase, and also request all the dignitaries to repeat the same. Please stand.
the people of India,
the people of India,
having solemnly resolved
having solemnly resolved
to constitute India
to constitute India
into a sovereign,
socialist,
secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. We do hereby give to ourselves this constitution.
Thank you, sir. Please be seated. Thank you. I humbly request Honorable Governor, sir, to deliver his valuable message on the occasion of 74th Constitution Day.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my warm greetings to you all. It gives me immense pleasure to participate in today's program organized to celebrate the 74th Constitution Day. As you are all aware, the Constitution Day is also known as Samvidhan Divas, is celebrated on 26th November every year to commemorate the adoption of the Constitution of India and to honor and pay tributes to Bharat Ratna Baba Saheb Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and the founding fathers of the Constitution for their great contribution. The people and the nation are indebted to the framers of the Constitution for giving us the noble principles on which we derive our freedom and equality and maintain harmony in the society. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Chairman of the Drafting Committee, is the Chief Architect of the Indian Constitution, which provides a comprehensive and dynamic framework to guide and govern the country. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is believed to have studied the constitutions of about 60 countries before preparing the statute of the world's largest democracy. The Constituent Assembly adopted the Indian Constitution on 26th November 1949 and it came into effect from 26th January 1950. The National Constitution Day is celebrated not only to commemorate the adoption of the Constitution of India, but also to promote Constitution values among the citizens. The process of drafting of the Indian Constitution began in 1946 in anticipation of country's independence when the country was passing through a great turmoil. The Constituent Assembly went about its task to create a constitution not for a nation but virtually for a civilization, which was a Herculean task that came with a greater responsibility. The drafting committee had to adopt a balanced approach as it was meant to address the aspirations of the hugely complex and heterogeneous population. Many world leaders considered India's constitution as a miracle. The Indian constitution is the cornerstone of the nation as it lays the foundation of governance of our nation. Our constitution is one that was crafted with great foresight. The founding fathers wanted the constitution to be an adaptable document rather than a rigid framework for governance. The constitution gave a place of permanence to the fundamental freedoms of the citizens. In giving the constitution to themselves, the people had reserved the fundamental rights for themselves. The fundamental rights granted to the citizens under the constitution are sacrosanct and transcendental in importance. The preamble of the constitution sets forth the 5 characteristics and 4 objectives, which include the concept of sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and the objectives of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. All the above key characteristics enshrined in our constitution perfectly summarize the essence of the core values of India and highlight the prevailing basic principles in the socio-political context and fulfill the needs and demands of the citizens. Values such as integrity, transparency, accountability, impartiality, public welfare, and equity are the guiding principles of Indian Constitution. During the time of its creation, these values were curated in such a way that citizens of India could feel empowered. Therefore, the essence of the Constitution lies in the words, "we the people," which implies that the ultimate source of the Constitution is the will of the people. Every country has a constitution in place which outlines and aggregates the country's fundamental principles and governance structure. Our constitution makes up the core of the country's existence and binds together the country's diversity and distinct cultures, empowers and safeguards the rights and liberties of the citizens while maintaining an effective balance between the organs of the government. The doctrines laid down in the Constitution limit the concentration of power into the hands of a single governing body and keeps a check on its misuse by the authorities. The core values of the Indian Constitution that constitute its spirit are expressed in a number of articles and provisions. The Indian Constitution is remarkable for many outstanding features it contains that make it different from other constitutions, even though many of its provisions are borrowed from the constitutional framework of other nations. The framers of the Constitution deserve the credit for gathering the best features of the constitutions followed by other nations and modifying the provisions to suit our needs by eliminating the inherent flaws in those provisions. The Indian Constitution guarantees fundamental rights to its citizens, which are not absolute but are subject to reasonable restrictions. Fundamental duties are incorporated through 42nd Amendment, which impose a moral obligation on the citizens to perform these duties, even though they are not enforceable legally. The Constitution spells out rights and duties of the citizens. The Constitution empowers the citizens by protecting their rights, and the citizens empower the Constitution by adhering to their duties. Fundamental duties enjoins upon the citizens of India to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity, and integrity of India, and ideals and institutions included in the Constitution. Citizens should live in a spirit of common brotherhood, transcending religious, linguistic, and regional diversities, to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women, develop scientific temper, and preserve our rich cultural heritage. Another important feature of the Constitution is the directive principles of the state policy, which are fundamental principles for the governance of the country, and it shall be the duty of the states to apply these principles in making laws, and imposes a moral obligation on the states for their adherence. Rule of law is yet another important feature of the Constitution, which implies that no man is above the law, and all individuals are subject to the jurisdiction of the ordinary courts. Absence of arbitrary power is the first essential feature of rule of law, upon which our whole constitutional system is based on, and governance must be by rule and not arbitrary, vague, and discretionary means. Gravel Austin, an American scholar, said about the Indian Constitution, and I quote, "The Indian Constitution is the first and foremost a social document," unquote. The Constitution lays down the national goals of our country: democracy, secularism, socialism, and national integration. The Constitution is not just a legal document, but a living document, and also a social and political document that reflects the changing aspirations and needs of the people of India. It's a document that is constantly evolving and adapting to the changing needs of the society. Make it a living document. Before concluding, let us recall the wise words of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, father of the Constitution, who said, and I quote, "However good a constitution may be, it is sure to turn out bad because those who are called to work it happen to be bad lot. However bad a constitution may be, it may turn out to be good if those who are called to work it happen to be good lot," unquote. On the National Constitution Day, let us cherish the spirit of the Indian Constitution and be guided by the values and principles enshrined in it. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Now I request all the dignitaries to please rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you, one and all. The program is completed. Thank you, one and all.